Hey, it's Joanna Hunter here from joannahunter.com, and I am joined by the gorgeous Carol Lee, who joins me. It's one of my students from Divine Planning Abundant Profits Academy. Come and introduce yourself, Carol, and thank you for joining me.
Hello, so my name is Carol Lee and I am a nutritional therapist and a creative kinesiologist, and I'm also an online teacher. And if I had to sum up my passion, I have a passion around food as medicine, and particularly about the amazing effects of being sugar-free. And that comes totally from my own personal experience.
Awesome. So we've been working together for quite some time.
3 years.
You joined Divine Planning Abundant Profits when it was a teeny, weeny course, like way back when.
It was. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what was your motivation in the beginning, if you can remember joining that course. What was the kind of the motivation back then?
Well, I think at that point, I decided, so probably a couple of years prior to me discovering you, I had decided that I'd been teaching and running courses in person and working in person for many years. And, you know, I live in a rural area and, you know, I was a single parent at the time. So I just had less opportunity to sell those courses and to get people. It's quite hard work to get people to come to a venue, particularly if you're in a rural area. Yes, so I think I'd made, a couple of years before that, I'd made the decision that I wanted to move online. I remember walking along the beach with a friend and saying, look, I've had this idea. Why don't I take all those courses I've created and put them online? So then that sort of started my entrepreneurial journey online, but I didn't have a clue, not a clue where to start. And I sort of followed somebody else and I had a few ideas. So, and I stumbled upon you and I thought, wow, I like this person. She's quirky and got pink hair and she's British, hooray. And I think just before I joined, I think I already had a small email list, and that was as far as I was at. So I sort of went into Divine Planning Abundant Profits literally at that level of things. You know, never made a video, never recorded an audio, hadn't created an online lesson.
And these were all things that totally gave you the fear as well, because I remember when you actually did your first video, it was like,
yeah, no, and I was, you know, I remember doing a video challenge, and it was like a 2-minute video challenge, and it took 4 hours to sort out the tech, to try and upload it, to retake it about 50 times, because I thought, is that what I sound like? Is that what I look like? Oh my, this can't be. It was just like a huge step. So, yeah, so, I mean, so when I joined, I hadn't even done that at that point.
I mean, you had so many firsts. In Divine Planning Abundant Profits, like your first video, your first live stream. And what's really cool is now it's kind of easy, right, to do these videos and to, you know, I see you going live all the time and stuff like that. And it's just, you know, you have really blossomed as an entrepreneur in being able to do all of these things. And even though the tech gave you serious fear, like I remember the tech giving me serious fear in the beginning, but it is something that you can learn. And I think having the right support is key to being able to learn. Did you find that in Divine Planning Abundant Profits that gave you that support?
No, totally, because in the course itself there's lots of information that you can find at any point, because it's a course that you can go back to. And in fact, that's one of the things I love, is that even every live round, like I know having another one very soon. I will be there if I can at every call, because even though I've done every call quite a lot of times, I hear things and learn things differently every time, and it's always good to remind myself. So first of all, there's all that information on the online platform that you can just go into any time. I need to do this, I need to do that. You know, I was thinking about doing a retreat recently. I know you've got information in there about that, so I can go in and read it and do the stuff. So you can go in there anytime and get the information. But then there's also the community and you that's in that group every day. So when we're having like huge meltdowns, because there are huge meltdowns in that group, but on the other side of that, there's huge triumphs. I mean, I've been noticing last 2 weeks that group is on fire. The stuff people...
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. Every day somebody's doing something like amazing first steps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even if you can't do it, you can feel you can go in there at any time and just go, I can't do this, I don't know how to do it, how did anybody do it? You know, all that sort of...
And there's always somebody to jump in and give you that advice, or help you, or point you in the right direction at least, or even just, you know, empathize and be like, yeah, we get it, but come on, you got this.
Or, you know, okay, you do it and then come back and say how you've got on. We're here, you know, be accountable, or you've got an hour to do it and we'll still be here. And it's lovely because it isn't just about you in there, it's about all of us sharing our different bits as well. And, you know, we're all at different stages. You know, there's some people who are really, you know, just starting out, and there's some people who are much further along. And we also...
And that's good, because I feel like we all learn from each other that way as well. You know, that it's great to see, kind of, to be able to visualize what your next step may look like, because you see another student sharing their journey and you realize like, oh, okay, that's what the next step looks like.
And also you find yourself giving advice about something you've heard, and then you go, oh, but guess what? I'm not even doing that yet. Oh, I think I better go and do that. So it's like a constant check. And I think, I always say this, it's a bit like having my office buddies, you know, because I work a lot by myself at home, which I love. I don't crave to be in a real office situation, but it's my buddies. You know, and I can go, oh, hello, guess what's happened? Or, oh my goodness. And, you know, I know that all over the world there's these little pods, DPAPs, you know, doing their little thing in the world and shining. And
it's lovely. And it is nice to know that you've got real, because the camaraderie that happens in the group is just gorgeous. It's just phenomenal, because, you know, I think that's one of the things is that I've really tried to keep that container with only spiritual entrepreneurs. So we really only serve spiritual entrepreneurs in there. And I think that's what it makes it stand out from any other business course out there, is that in other business courses you get a mixture of different types of entrepreneurs, which is great. We have different types of entrepreneurs too, but everybody is spiritual in the group, which I really like. And so I love the fact that we can say, hey, I was checking in with my guides, and nobody misses a beat. Everyone's like, yeah, that's cool.
And guess what? I just manifested. And
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we work with the woo forces, so it's so good. So tell us a little bit about, obviously, I feel like you have come such a long way. And, you know, and some of the journey has not just been business stuff. It has been shifts and changes within you personally as well. Just how much stronger as a person that you are. And so, you know, you've really had a real journey, because I think that's what a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll build a business, but they don't realize that actually to have that way more successful business, it requires you to morph and change as a human being. And that's certainly been the case for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if you want to go on some sort of personal transformational journey, then decide to run your own business online and expose yourself on, not literally expose yourself, but expose yourself to on the www, and notice all the things that come up for you, all your blocks and all your issues. And that's what I love again about your program, that your mindset is like a huge part of it. Dealing with feeling visible, dealing about sharing your message authentically, finding out even what your message is, because mine's changed with my personal journey. For me, all my my sugar-free course that I've built has come out of my own struggles with food and eating, and my own food, sugar-free journey.
Your sugar-free journey has been incredible. Because how many years has it been now?
2.5 years, I think.
2.5 years. And what, even just a physical difference over that 2.5 years, it's been really, really epic. And then, that created this huge pivot in your business as well. And what's been really nice is that Divine Planning Abundant Profits was able to cope with that pivot with total ease, and it still gave you the tools.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So even when you changed what you were doing and morphed into something that was way more you.
Yes, and I think what it did is it held me in that exploratory phase at the start where I wasn't quite sure what my message was. It's almost like it was in my body. It was there somewhere. And, as a kinesiologist, I'm always working with what the body knows. It was in there, but it hadn't quite shown itself. And I'd had to then go on this personal journey. I came to, via your course, Get Selfish.
That's right.
It. And then through that, I really connected with my passionate voice, if you like, about what my message was for the world. I think that sounds a bit dramatic, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like a mission. It feels like this is something I have to do, that I have to give this information to people, if they're ready to hear it. And from doing more sort of general nutrition stuff, always with a slight alternative leaning for sure, but to really be able to hone it right down and go, okay, this is what I'm really going to focus on. And, that's been amazing. And as part of my journey and with the DPAP support, I set up a Facebook group, my sugar-free journey. And now we've got over 1,000 people in there.
Amazing.
Doing, all going along in various stages of their own sugar-free journey.
It's incredible.
It is, and it just like, and I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have just hopped on being visible and saying, it's a couple of weeks ago I launched a 21-day course to celebrate the 1,000 people in the group. Tech disaster, lots of things happen, but then I was able just to go on and say, this has happened, don't worry, you can still sign up. And I don't know, it was something about that ease of just being able
the way that you were able to cope with that.
Yeah, it's like to roll with the punches, and people go, it doesn't matter. And it's like, I went on no makeup, just like whatever. It's, I don't know.
Inner confidence.
Yeah, there's that ease and inner confidence of, this is me and this is my tribe, and I'm the leader, the mama bear of this tribe, like you're the mama bear of DPAP, and we all feel like little chicks. And
I do cluck a lot over my little chicks.
And I feel like that in my sugar-free. Sometimes people share things about what they've achieved or how they're feeling, and it makes me cry because I feel so blessed.
It's that impact that I think when somebody is brand new to online business, we dream of making that impact. We dream of having people who know that we were instrumental in guiding them to change their lives. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, we dream of that. And then suddenly you find yourself, you know, if you do the work and you apply divine planning of winning profits and you apply the information there, you know, you get to that stage one day, and it's not a like a marching band or trumpets or anything that tells you when you arrived at that stage, but there's just this, you wake up one morning and you just realize, like, holy hell, I'm doing it, you know, I am making the impact that I had once only dreamed of making.
Yeah, and I now have, I have an online school, a natural food school. I mean, it's a name I've had 12 or 13 years, and it was some place that I wanted to put all my courses, and now I've got an online school called the Natural Food School that has, you know, that I've built on an online platform, and it's like, oh, I have that now.
I know, it's
Yeah,
amazing shifts and achievements
and
over the time that we've worked together.
and I have online clients, and you know, it's just a whole different balance. And I still love my face-to-face clients. I still love that. That's still a part of what I want to offer in the world. But this means that I can serve the WW. You know, I have clients in Australia and America, and it's like, from a little village in the middle of Devon in the UK, to say, oh my goodness, I can reach those people, share that information.
That's one of the things as well that always tickles me. I mean, I sit in a little village in the north of Scotland with 1,500 people.
Yeah.
And don't let that ever be your excuse for you not being able to make it in life, or you being able to go out there and do your sacred work, because the internet just blows the lid off that excuse completely. And I'm like you, I have clients literally all over the world. We have Divine Planning Abundant Profits is like a multicultural melting pot of, you know, we have Australians, New Zealanders, we have pretty much a lot of the states in the US, we have Canadians, we have obviously British people in there, we have Europeans, you know, there's so many people coming from all different countries. And it's amazing because I feel like we all have one central message, which is to raise the vibration of the planet and be the change that we wish to see in the world.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to leave not my mark. I don't mean that in a, but
leave a legacy that is a positive ripple that will be felt in generations to come.
Yeah, and for me, you know, when I talk about educating people around food and sugar and eating processed carbohydrates and all those things and how it affects us, body, mind and soul, and they go and then they change how things they feed their children or feed their partners, or, you know, I just see that ripple going out, and, you know, people saying, I went to the doctors and I'm no longer pre-diabetic, and, you know, look at the picture of my stomach, and that was so bloated and now it's not. And it's like real big changes, and people saying I was so depressed and now I'm not. I mean, it's just, you can't quantify the impact that has.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, let's just take somebody who you've helped in you know, really with their diet, and then they're turning around to you and saying, I'm not depressed anymore. Like, can you just imagine the impact that has on a family, for instance?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and then, you know, because it's very difficult to be supporting somebody who is going through something like that, but just the joy and the ease that family would have begun to experience just because of that one shift.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible, and I'm so proud of your journey, because you've slayed your demons, literally, you know, like the fear of the tech, the fear of, you know, getting out there, being visible, all of these things that I think is so normal in the entrepreneurial journey, to be feeling these things and going through these things. And you've risen, and now, you know, you have this amazing community in front of you. And you're seeing the real life impact of you shining your light out in the world. So tell us a little bit, Carol, about your plans for the future. What are you planning to do going forward?
Well, I'm just doing a rebrand of my course, Nourish Yourself to Sugar Freedom, which is now going to be called Sugar Free Your Way, Nourish Yourself to Sugar Freedom, because that sort of more embodies the ethos of the course, that it's actually everybody's got their own journey with it, you know, so it's not just what I say, it's what...
It's about developing an individual journey. Great.
Yeah, relationship with food. So that feels really exciting. So I'm just going through the material and rebranding that. And the course starts again in October, beginning of October. So that's, you know, really exciting. Every round that comes round, I'm really excited. A whole new bunch of students, participants, whatever journey.
And the nice thing is you've got your whole plan for how you're going to market that. All in Divine Planning Abundant Profits. So
absolutely. So it's all laid out. So I just need to go and sort of fill in the dates and go, this date I'm going to do this date I'm going to do this. So that's going forward. That's a big thing sort of in the future. And also I'm going to keep on adding courses into my natural food school, so people, you know, can buy those as and when they need them. And again, you know, there's always a marketing plan to be worked on. Thank goodness for Joanna. And, yeah, and I just love to just reach more and more people. It sounds a bit, I don't know if that sounds a bit sappy, but you know, it's like,
oh, I mean,
oh, I want that. I want to be that person that people say, oh, you want to give up sugar free? Go and look up Carol Lee Natural Health. Go and look up the Natural Food School, because she knows about it. She's done it herself. She's changed her life, and she's got a brilliant course. That's, you know, that's how I'd like it to be in the future. I'd be a leader, you know, step into that place of being.
And that's it. And I mean, many people, when they first join Divine Planning Abundant Profits Academy, they're not really fully claiming their leadership yet.
No, absolutely. And you know, if anybody's considering it, please do consider it. Don't think, well, I can't because I don't know what I'm doing. It's about, for beginners at the starting, and the, you know, starting. What's the starting line? Starting line of,
yeah.
It's for those people as well as people who are already doing stuff and want more depth. It covers every stage, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, very much so. And I feel also as well, I think what it covers is probably like the biggest mystery in online courses for business ever, which is, what do you do on a daily basis to grow your business? Because I think that that's like this missing ingredient in so many online courses. Like, they give you so much great knowledge in some of those courses, like, hey, here's how to do a webinar, or hey, here's how to do this thing. But it's like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis that will actually physically lead to you creating sales and bringing customers to buying your service or product? And I think that that's you know, that's something that we really cover in Divine Planning Abundant Profits, is giving you that day-to-day tools, so that you're never sat there in front of the computer going, oh, okay, what am I doing today? It's like, no, I know what I need to be doing.
And it's really true that it's not, although you can involve magic, it's not a magical event. This is a step-by-step. This is what you need to do first, and you have to be consistent. You have to do the work. You can't just have it on your vision board and then do nothing. That doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Every day you have to show up and do your posting on social media, you know what you're aiming towards in that short term. And, you know, I'm still learning that. I'm still, you know, learning how to be a bit more strategic. And, you know, that's what Divine Planning Abundant Profit helps you with. You know, it's that divine planning. There is a plan. It's not just do a webinar and you'll make £10,000.
It's not Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. You know, it's like, you know, there's strategy behind it.
Yeah, have the dream, and then work towards it, one step, one day at a time, and keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And then people will come, people will come, people will come.
Yeah, it builds, and it builds that momentum if you follow the system.
Yeah.
So tell us, if somebody was watching this and they were like, hey, I'm totally on the fence of whether I should get Divine Planning Abundant Profits Academy, what would you say to a student that is a potential student that's sat on the fence thinking, I'm not really sure, is this going to help me? Is this going to really be the thing for me? So what would you say?
Well, I would say if you want to have daily office mates who cheer you on and support you every step of the way and inspire you, if you want to work with someone who is, you know, completely woo-woo, but also completely down to earth and business minded and has done it herself several times, and brings with that all that wisdom and humor and kick ass when necessary stuff, then you haven't got anything to lose. And if you're prepared to put in the work, if you're ready on the starting lines to go, okay, I want to do this now, I want to do it, I think this is the start of my vision. Your vision doesn't even have to be complete, does it? Because that's part of what
we help you create the vision. That's something that we really do. We really help you to create the vision. What you really need is really the will to want to really do it, and also as well to put some action in there, you know, like really be willing to take the action. That's the key, isn't it? At the end of the day, the key is taking action. Even
if you're scared, you know, it's like, you know, even putting your first social media post up feels blimmin' scary when you've never done it. And then before you know it, you'll be doing 3 or 4 a day and you won't even think about it. You know, it's just the first step, isn't it? So I would say got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Oh, thank you, Carol. It's been absolutely lovely to chat with you. I'm so proud of you. I mean, the shifts and just the journey. And I knew that when I was doing this interview series, I really wanted to speak with you because you have been since the second round of Divine Planning Abundant Profits, when the course was teeny weeny, and now it's this huge academy that has loads of stuff and monthly coaching calls and everything, which wasn't there in the beginning. Now it's got a lot more, and I knew I wanted to speak to you because you've really been with us through the whole journey, seen as the community has grown as well, and just how more and more supportive it's gotten. So I just thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today and sharing your journey in Divine Planning Abundant Profits.
And, you know, thank you so much, Joanna, because my business wouldn't be as it was now without you in the academy, for sure. And, you know, it's just that sense of having something to share in the world and not knowing how to do it is not good, but that's not allowed to happen in DPAP. Absolutely not.
No, we gently nudge you.
Yes, on kind days indeed.
Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video.